It was a Saturday, just like any other. The sun was streaming through the blinds, and I woke up to the smell of coffee.
Mark was already in the kitchen, humming a tune I didn't recognize. He kissed my forehead and handed me a mug.
"Morning, sleepyhead," he said, his smile as warm as the coffee in my hands. We'd been together for 5 years, lived together for 3. He was my rock, my best friend, my everything. Or so I thought. That afternoon, we were lazing on the couch, watching some random movie. His phone buzzed on the coffee table. It was a text.
He glanced at it, and a strange, almost imperceptible tension tightened his jaw. He quickly typed a reply, his thumb moving with a speed I'd never seen before. "Who was that?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Oh, just my mom," he said, not looking at me.
Asking about dinner next week. It was a plausible lie.
His mom did text him a lot, but something felt off. A tiny seed of doubt was planted, a cold little knot in my stomach that wouldn't go away.
Over the next few weeks, the signs became harder to ignore. He started working late more often.
"Big project at work," he'd say, looking tired. He became more protective of his phone, taking it with him even to the bathroom.
He'd angle the screen away from me when he was texting. When I asked him about it, he'd get defensive.
"Don't you trust me, Sarah?"
I need some privacy, and I'd back down, feeling guilty for even asking. I was being paranoid, right?
Every couple goes through phases. We were just in a slump. But the late nights turned into weekend work emergencies. The secretive texting became hushed phone calls in the other room. I'd hear him whisper, his voice low and urgent, and then it would stop the second I walked in. He'd hang up and pretend he was looking for something. The distance between us grew, a silent chasm on the couch, a cold expanse in our bed.
He stopped telling me about his day. He stopped asking about mine. We were living like roommates who barely knew each other.
The breaking point came on our anniversary. I had cooked his favorite meal, lit candles, and put on the dress he loved. I waited and waited. 9 o'clock became 10, then 11. I called his phone, and it went straight to voicemail. Over and over again. Just before midnight, he stumbled in, his clothes rumpled and his hair a mess.
He smelled faintly of a perfume that wasn't mine. He didn't even remember what day it was.
"Sorry, Sarah," he slurred. "Had to work late." It was a nightmare. The lie was so blatant, so disrespectful. It felt like a slap in the face. That night, I didn't sleep. The seed of doubt had grown into a monstrous tree, its branches strangling my heart. I knew I couldn't live like this anymore in this limbo of suspicion and heartache. The next morning, while he was in the shower, I did something I never thought I would do. I picked up his phone. It wasn't locked.
My hands were shaking so much I could barely hold it steady. I opened his messages, and there it was. A thread of text with a name I didn't recognize. Chloe. The messages were a timeline of my own personal hell.
"Can't wait to see you tonight. Last night was amazing. I wish I was with you instead of her." And the worst one.
Sent just last night, while I was waiting for him. "Best anniversary ever. Love you." My world shattered. The floor felt like it was falling away from beneath me.
Every late night at work, every call from his mom, it was all a lie.
Our 5 years, our home, our life together. Was any of it real?
I felt a pain so sharp and deep. It was hard to breathe. When he came out of the shower, humming that same tune, I was sitting on the bed with his phone in my hand. The look on his face when he saw me said it all. The color drained from his cheeks. The fake smile vanished. For the first time in months, there were no more lies between us. "Who is she, Mark?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He couldn't even look me in the eye. He just stood there, dripping water onto the floor. The picture of a coward. The conversation that followed is a blur of tears and shouting and hollow apologies. He said it didn't mean anything. He said he was confused. He said he still loved me.
But how can you love someone and betray them so completely?
His words were just empty sounds, noise meant to cover the gaping wound he had carved into my heart. I packed a bag that day.
I walked out of the apartment we had built together, the home I thought was my sanctuary. Walking away was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but staying would have destroyed me. The first few months were pure survival. Every morning I woke up with a hollow ache in my chest.
Everything reminded me of him. A song on the radio, a couple holding hands, the smell of coffee.
I cried until I had no tears left. I was angry, I was hurt, I was lost. My friends and family were my lifeline. They let me cry. They let me rage. They reminded me that his betrayal was not a reflection of my worth.
It was a reflection of his weakness, his lack of character.
Slowly, very slowly, I started to heal. I started doing things for myself. I rejoined my yoga class. I started painting again, something I hadn't done in years. I filled my life with things that brought me joy, things that had nothing to do with him. I learned that I could be happy on my own. I learned that I was stronger than I ever thought possible.
The pain didn't disappear overnight, but it began to fade.
The sharp stabbing agony softened into a dull ache, and eventually into a scar, a reminder of what I had survived.
Looking back, the betrayal was devastating, but it was also a wake-up call.
It forced me to reevaluate my life, to rediscover who I was without him.
I learned to trust my intuition, that little voice that told me something was wrong. And most importantly, I learned that I deserve a love that is honest and true. A love that doesn't hide in whispered phone calls and secret texts. A love that feels like home, not a house full of lies. If you're going through something similar, please know that you are not alone, and it is not your fault. The pain feels all-consuming now, but it will get better. Focus on yourself. Reconnect with the people who truly love you. Rediscover the things that make you, you. You will get through this, and you will come out stronger on the other side. Thank you for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, I hope you'll subscribe for more content. Take care.